So to get the perfect, golden, blemish-free fast food French fry, a potato actually has to survive this intense chemical gauntlet.
Oh, absolutely.
And our editor, Elton, has been completely fixated on this. He loves his fries. I mean, medium salt, lots of ketchup. But since his recent stroke, deep fried foods are, well, they're strictly off the menu.
Right, so he's basically torturing himself with food literature.
Exactly. He just finished listening to the audio version of the 2006 bestseller, The Botany of Desire by Michael Pollan.
Oh, yeah, great book.
Yeah, and the chapter on what it takes to become a blemish-free fast food French fry in America just totally shocked him.
I mean, it really shatters the illusion of, a simple potato just being sliced into hot oil.
Mm-hmm.
The cosmetic standards for fast food demand absolute visual perfection.
Right. So Elton handed us this stack of research with a really clear mission. We need to track the actual chemical life cycle of an Idaho potato destined for the drive-thru.
Mm-hmm.
And we also need to find out what independent testing says about the residues left on the fries you actually eat.
It is quite a journey from the soil to the consumer, honestly.
Yeah, and Elton was terrified by one specific chemical Pollan highlighted. It's a pesticide called Monitor.
Oh, right, methamidophos.
Yeah, and Pollan wrote that it was so toxic farmers wouldn't even walk into their fields for 5 days after spraying. And the harvested potatoes had to off-gas in massive sheds for 6 weeks before they were safe to eat.
What's fascinating here is that Elton can actually cross that specific one off his worry list.
Wait, really?
Yeah, Monitor was phased out and canceled in the U.S. back in 2009.
Oh, wow.
And that off-gassing claim, it's false. They don't lock them in sheds to vent off toxic gas. They just put them in giant climate-controlled sheds to prevent sprouting and ensure a year-round supply.
Okay, let's unpack this, though. If Monitor's gone, shouldn't fries be totally chemical-free now?
Wow.
Because the craziest part of Pollan's book was that Monitor was primarily used just to prevent net necrosis, right?
Right, which is literally just a harmless brown blemish.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like deploying extreme chemical warfare just to prevent a freckle on an apple.
Yeah, the pesticide changed, but the demand for a freckle-free fry definitely didn't. Instead of Monitor, the industry largely shifted to neonicotinoids.
Neonicotinoids, okay.
Right, and these are systemic pesticides. They're often applied directly to the seed potato before planting.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Systemic means it's not just a coating of dirt on the skin. As the potato grows, it absorbs the chemical directly into its cellular tissue, like an IV drip. You couldn't wash or peel that off, even if you scrubbed all day.
You really can't. And then, once harvested, we go back to those giant storage sheds. To keep the potatoes from sprouting for months on end, they are fogged with a chemical sprout inhibitor called CIPC.
Fogged cheese.
Yeah. And USDA testing routinely finds CIPC residues in over 95% of potato samples.
But surely peeling and slicing and dropping them into 400-degree boiling oil destroys those chemicals, right?
Actually, the heat can make it worse.
Oh, come on.
I know, but CIPC breaks down into a metabolite called 3CA. And 3CA is considered even more toxic than the original chemical, particularly when looking at potential long-term developmental impacts.
Developmental impacts, meaning children's developing systems are uniquely vulnerable to this stuff.
Exactly.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, what exactly remains on the fries that actually end up in your bag?
That is the million-dollar question.
Right. So in 2023, the nonprofit Moms Across America ran independent lab tests on fries from the top 20 fast food brands in the country. And I was stunned reading this.
Yeah, the results were
100% of the brands tested positive for glyphosate.
Right. Glyphosate being the most widely used weed killer in the world.
But hold on. How does a weed killer end up inside a root vegetable growing underground?
Well, farmers often use glyphosate not just to kill weeds, but as a desiccant.
A desiccant.
Yeah, it's a drying agent sprayed right before harvest to force the entire crop to die uniformly. It makes harvesting perfectly timed and highly efficient.
But because it's applied right before they pull the potatoes from the ground, the residue lingers.
Exactly.
That explains the mechanism, but the brand breakdown makes no logical sense to me. Chipotle had the absolute lowest levels. Yet Panera Bread, which literally built its brand on having clean food, had the highest levels by far. Over 439 parts per billion.
Yeah, that is a massive spike in exposure, especially for a single side dish.
And it wasn't just the weed killer either. 76% of the fast food brands contain traces of 27 other harmful pesticides.
It really highlights a compounding chemical journey.
So what does this all mean? We've traced the fries journey from seeds treated with systemic neonicotinoids to fields sprayed with glyphosate, to storage units fogged with CIPC.
Right down to the residual chemicals detected in fast food bags.
All to make sure the fry looks cosmetically perfect. No harmless brown lines allowed. This raises an important question, though. Considering how these chemicals compound throughout a potato's life cycle, does this change how you view feeding French fries to young children?